Many scientists believe that Earth has excellent conditions to support life. In this unit, we are going to explore the Earth and Philippine environment. So our first topic for today is all about locating places on Earth. So let's start our discussion all about the places on Earth. So the lithosphere is divided into 7 continental land masses. So those continental land masses includes North America, South America, Africa, Europe, Australia, Antarctica, and Asia. Each continent is composed of several countries. If you're going to take a look at the map of the world or an atlas, you are going to see the horizontal and vertical lines that traverse the different continents and oceans. These lines are the system of coordinates which geographers and travelers use in locating places and telling directions on Earth. During ancient times, locating places and telling directions depended largely on observation of celestial objects, just like the position of the different constellations, the rising and setting of the sun, the location of stars, and many more. This system of navigation using heavenly bodies as bases is called celestial navigation. Since Greeks were the first to establish the first system of navigation, because the Earth is spherical in shape, directions according to Greeks can only be defined if some starting points are established. They invented imaginary lines to establish starting points in the globe. However, these starting points passed through Greece because they thought that Greece was the center of the world. Now telling directions and locating places on Earth have improved. Modern navigation makes use of two imaginary lines that run from pole to pole and from west to east of the globe. These imaginary lines are respectively called the latitude and the longitude. The latitude and longitude are systems of geometrical coordinates used as bases in telling direction and locating places, measuring distance, and reckoning time on the Earth's surface. Again, geography coordinate system is the system used to locate places on Earth. It applied the concept of the Cartesian plane, but instead of using x and y axes, it uses latitude and longitude. So there are two starting points in locating places and telling direction on the Earth. The first starting point is all about the equator. Equator is the prime parallel that passes horizontally through the center of the Earth. Equator divides the globe into northern and southern hemisphere. The second starting point in locating places on Earth is the prime meridian. Prime meridian is the vertical line that passes through Greenwich, England, which divide the Earth into western and eastern hemisphere. Did you know that the equator and the prime meridian are referred to as a great circle? So, take a look on this image. Those are the lines that represents the equator and the prime meridian. So let's talk about latitude. The north or south location of any place on Earth is called latitude. Latitude is a line that goes around the globe. Aside from that, latitude separates the north or south location of any places on Earth. Since the equator is the starting point in determining the latitude of a particular place, it is designated as 0-degree latitude. Thus, it is important to indicate the N or S after the degree unit. The letter N or S represents the north or south. The equator, being the starting point, does not have the N or S designation. Latitude measurement ranges from 0 degree to 90 degrees only. The next coordinate is all about longitude. Longitude is a line that points from top to bottom of the globe. Aside from that, longitude is a distance east or west of the prime meridian. We all know that prime meridian is an imaginary line that runs from north to south through Greenwich, England. And prime meridian as well is the starting point in locating the longitude lines. To summarize our topic about the coordinate system, once again, there are two starting points in locating places on the Earth. So the first starting point is what we call as the equator. So this horizontal line is the equator. So we all know that equator divides the globe into northern and the southern hemisphere, while on the right side of your screen is the prime meridian. So prime meridian, so this vertical line is the prime meridian. So prime meridian divides the globe into eastern and western hemisphere. So eastern and western hemisphere. Now, going back on the equator. Equator being the starting point does not have the north or south designation. So once again, any location on top of the equator is what we call as the north latitude. So all horizontal line on the top of the equator is what we call as the north latitude. So this line is north latitude. And any location on the south of the equator is what we call as the south latitude. So this horizontal line is the representation of the south latitude. So now, latitude measurement ranges from 0 degree. So this line. So from 0 degree to 90 degrees. So from 0, 15, then 30, then 60 until you reach the 90 degree. So from 0 degrees to 90 degree. So on the next, which is the prime meridian, so just like on the equator, prime meridian does not have the east or west designation. So any location on the east of the prime meridian is what we call as the east longitude. So this line, this vertical line is the east longitude. So any location on the east of the prime meridian is the east longitude. And any location on the west of the prime meridian is what we call as the west longitude. So this vertical line is the west longitude. And longitude measurement ranges from 0. So it starts from 0 degree followed by 15, 30 until you reach the 180 degree. So that's all. So to clearly discuss about the coordinate system, let me show you on how to locate places on the earth using this map. But before we proceed on our activity, let me give you some tips about the coordinate system. Okay, by combining latitude and longitude, any location can be pinpointed. Latitude is written first and must always include N, which represents north, or S, which represents south of the equator. Then longitude is written next and must always include E, which represents east, or W, which represents west of the prime meridian. Okay, Now, so going back on our activity. So if you want to know what are the coordinates of South America, so this one. So if you want to know the coordinates of South America, we have to follow those tips that I gave a while ago. Okay, so since latitude is written first, followed by longitude, so we have to know first the latitude of South America. So latitude, this one. Latitude of South America, so this one, this line is the latitude of South America. So it ranges from 20 degrees south. Why is it south? Because any location on south of the equator, since this one is the equator and the equator is the starting point, any location of south of the equator is what we call as the south latitude. So that's why 20 degrees south followed by what is the longitude. So the longitude of South America is this one. So which is 60 degrees. So 20 degrees south and 60 degree west. Why is it west? Because this one, again, prime meridian being the starting point of the longitude. Again, any location on west of the prime meridian is what we call as the west longitude. So that's why the coordinates of South America is 20 degrees south and 60 degree west. That's all. Let us now talk and discuss our own country, which is the Philippines. Actually, Philippines lies between 14 degrees to 21 degrees north latitude and 116 degrees to 126 degrees east longitude. It can be found in the Southeast Asia, bounded in the north by the Bashi Channel, in the east by the Pacific Ocean, in the west by the West Philippine Sea, formerly known as South China Sea, and in the south by the Celebes Sea. And the Philippines, being an archipelago, means it is surrounded and separated by the oceans and seas. In terms of topography, the Philippines is generally mountainous. To end our discussion, let me show you the quotation from Bera Nazarian. The compass rose is nothing but a star with an infinite number of rays, pointing in all directions. It is the one true and perfect symbol of the universe, and it is the one most accurate symbol of you. Spread your arms in an embrace, throw your head back, and prepare to receive and send coordinates of being 4. At last you know you are the navigator, the captain, and the ship. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.